Okay, so YouTube has this new thing that popped up in the back end, and I thought I'd take a look at it, this inspiration tab, which for some reason is in channel content. I don't know why. But this is what it's given me, and this is clearly like random AI generated. What the hell? I. Okay, so the first one, Schizoid versus Introvert, explained, yeah, okay, maybe that's something I would talk about if it didn't bore me so much as a topic. And like Mecha Beautiful, I've kind of done something like that, although what's worth it, I wouldn't know. But like, look at this thumbnail. Like that, it's just a blob. And my favorite hidden YouTube channels, I mean, I showed this to Patreon and Mad Simple reckons I should do my favorite hidden YouTube comments. But like, have you seen this thumbnail? It's eaten, like, let's get in there a bit more. My favorite hijib like, and this one's disturbing too. This is like the same person just with different hair, pretty much. Pretty much two different people, one male, one female. Oh my god. Anyway, no, the one that really caught my eye though was this one, the disappearing trend, a deeper dive, and like, you know, the preview just says the disappearing trend on social media is explored in depth. Viewers are invited to consider the psychology and motivations behind this trend and its potential impact on. And now, you know, my initial thing is like, are people just disappearing? Is that what it's saying? Like, instead of planking, you just disappear, kind of thing. But then I googled it, and apparently on TikTok there is a disappearing trend in terms of like video effects. I mean, I didn't want to watch any, but just from looking at Google previews, that seems to be is like how to do the disappearing thing, you know, how to film it. So I thought maybe it would be about that. But if we click on it, I do think it's just an AI fever dream. It sort of almost goes in sensible directions, but it doesn't quite get there and it mixes it up. So the disappearing trend, a deeper dive, and its potential impact on online communities. Okay. We've got these different alternate titles. The Disappearing Act, why people do it. Like, that's what makes me think, could it be people just disappearing? Faking their own deaths, maybe? I don't know. The disappearing trend, is it just a phase? See, if this was just the TikTok thing, is it just a phase? Who thinks of TikTok trends like that? Like, obviously, they're just whatever. They're just passing things. But, like, it also is kind of funny because, like, phase, if you think about people who, like, walk through walls and phasing in and out ghosts and whatever, it's a pun. Did AI make a pun by complete accident? I mean, when people just vanish, a deeper dive. And then ghosting, flaking, and disappearing. Why are we so afraid of commitment? That's going in a... See, it's already starting to go in a different direction. Oh yeah, here's the thumbnails. It couldn't even come up with more thumbnails. But it's got, like, sort of like a brick, like it's trying to look like a phone, but it's just floating there with nothing supporting it. And like these look like coasters or something in the background. It's really like AI randomness. So it's trying to look like a phone, but it's just a brick. And then we've got this sort of like awkward, like I can't flatten those fingers enough for that, and like trying to get the sort of right angle. Those sort of unnaturally, you know, tapered fingers. They say that they fixed hands on AI, but I don't necessarily think they have. And then there's this one, which is like, it's got a clock. What does this have to do with clocks disappearing? That's more about time disappearing, not people disappearing, right? Anyway, no, let's go into the outline. It gives you a full-on outline on how to make this video. And it's kind of tempting, like, to make a video about people disappearing and pretend that it's a trend and see if you could, like, start a rumor that way. But when you actually look at the outline, it's kind of all over the place. So, you know, it keeps changing what it's about. So let's go through it. What is the disappearing trend? Explain the trend. Disappearing posts, profiles, and accounts. So that makes me think of people deleting their social media, or the bots on social media that will like censor things for no reason. For example, one time, I kid you not, I posted a picture of the, like I had a picture of the DVD cover for Fight Club, and they hit me for like spam and misleading and fraud or something, and they took it down. Now they did reinstate it, but it was just like this kind of random thing, like, how is me showing a picture of a DVD cover fraud? It would have been funny if they deleted it because you're not allowed to talk about Fight Club, but that's not what happened. And yeah, it came back after a while once the bot realized it was wrong. But yeah, anyway, so that's an example of disappearing posts when the censorship thing goes a bit out of hand. But also here on YouTube, if you try and write a comment and you use like the wrong word or something, the bot will just delete people's comments and things will disappear. And then you can't, like, you know, if I come across a conversation from a while ago, sometimes like half the comments are gone and it's like a really disjointed conversation. And it's like, if YouTube wants to build communities, they need to not do that. And it's funny because a lot of the spam stuff still gets through despite that. But anyway, disappearing post profiles and accounts. Show examples, showcase various platforms and examples of disappearing content. Which means that I would have to have screenshots of before and after. That would be hard to plan. Unless, like, you know, you scour forums where other people have done it, I guess. Highlight the trend's recent surge. Emphasize the trend's growing popularity and recent increase in occurrences. So, you know, now it's less about censorship bots and it's more about people just deleting social media, maybe? Okay, so why are people disappearing? The allure of anonymity. So this whole section seems to be about people deleting social media. So discuss the desire for privacy and escape from online scrutiny. A need for control. Explore the feeling of empowerment that comes with deleting content. Reframing online identity. The shift from permanent to temporary presence. I don't know that many people actually think of it that way. It's just like they get addicted to social media, they realize they're not happy, and they decide to get rid of it, or some of them worry about security issues. I don't know that many people are doing it for this sort of, this is almost like a spiritual kind of thing. I don't know. But, you know, a need for control, even if you're off social media, it doesn't necessarily mean you control anything, because people can still take a photo of you and post you and talk about you, and you're just not on there to tell your side of the story, so you're not really controlling anything at all. Anyway, the psychological impact. So this is still about people deleting social media. FOMO and social pressure. Examine how disappearing contributes to a constant need to keep up. So this is kind of like backwards though, because usually people being on social media is what makes them feel like they need to keep up and feel the FOMO and whatever. And whereas if you delete your social media, you've sort of accepted that you don't want to be part of that race. Although, maybe you're now worried, what am I missing out? But if you're so worried about what you're missing out on social media, just go back on social media. So, I mean, maybe there's some people who think like this, but to me it still seems like AI fever dream. The fleeting nature of digital connections, how disappearing can impact relationships and communities. I mean, it really depends, because for people who are not social, for example, like me, or people who have things like autism, this is like the primary way I socialize, because real life stuff doesn't really work for me. The desire to be forgotten, address the yearning to detach from past mistakes and online baggage. Yeah, I suppose there's some people who worry about that. But then this is where it starts to get like, what is the bot? What is this AI talking about? I hate that it's called AI. Like, it's not really artificially intelligent. It's just a pattern machine. It's just computing with more data. It's not really anything that groundbreaking in my opinion. In my opinion, real artificial intelligence would be like it's got sentience and it starts doing things that we don't want it to do and completely goes out of control. Like, this is still not what I want it to do, but I can safely ignore it. It's not like hacking me or whatever. No, I have a different opinion of what AI should be, and I am very disappointed. Anyway, the implications for social media, the erosion of trust. Explain how disappearing content makes it difficult to rely on online sources. Now, I guess when people delete their social media accounts, a lot of platforms will also delete their comments, but some will also leave the comments up and just say that the user's been deleted, but the thing will still be there. So it kind of depends on which social media. But yeah, difficult to rely on online sources. I mean, the thing about online things, like, this is why Internet Archive is such a big deal, because things do disappear from the internet if they're not maintained, and so you need a repository of some sort. But Internet Archive only archives certain stuff. So if there's some, like, obscure website, it could just disappear. No one would ever know. But that's different to people deleting their own social media. And sort of a bigger issue, like people deleting their own websites, or just, not being able to pay for hosting anymore. I don't know. The impact on online discourse. Discuss how disappearing content hinders healthy discussions and debate. And that's starting to sound more like the spam bots, not spam, well, I guess the anti-spam bots, but the censorship bots. Because, like, if someone deletes their social media, they're not part of the conversation anymore. So this, I don't feel, is really an issue. But if you're having a conversation with someone, but the censorship bot keeps deleting comments at random, so that you can't even get to see what the other person was saying, and you miss bits, or maybe there was a conversation that happened a while ago and you want to check what was said then, and bits and pieces are missing and you can't figure out what the hell was going on because there's not enough context. Like, that's what I think about, more than just people deleting their social media. Like, at that point, the conversation's over. Anyway, the rise of ephemeral content. Explore the shift towards more temporary and fleeting forms of online communication. Snapchat has been doing that since forever, and every other social media platform copied. So that's not new. That's not a new trend. And then moving forward, a call for balance. This is where this AI tries to tell me what I should think about it. Embrace the value of permanence. Advocate for the importance of lasting contributions and legacy. Which is, like, I'm into that. That's what got me into, like, ancient Egypt and the way that they preserved themselves through leaving things behind. But that's in rock. If I'm going to advocate for that, I would say go into stonework or something more permanent, maybe metalwork. Advocate for digital responsibility. Encourage users to consider the impact of their online actions. Promote healthy online communities. Encourage open dialogue and constructive interaction within online spaces. I don't really see how that stops anyone from disappearing off social media. It's confusing. It doesn't really make sense. And it's very much AI just, like, trying to gather things together that it thinks are related to this topic, but kind of aren't. Like, people aren't just disappearing. I'm pretty sure it's a TikTok thing and it's just a video effect. But it's gone and turned it, like, morphed it with a little bit of the censorship bot comments disappearing thing, and a little bit or a lot of people leaving social media for various reasons. But I wouldn't say it's a trend. Like, I do know people who have never had a Facebook account, and also people who have left Facebook. I don't know really what, it's hard to keep up with some of them. But, if they're important, you still find out, like, for example, family members through the family grapevine. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just like, I can't make a video out of that. I mean, I'm making a video out of it now, but only because I'm like, really? What? So, I mean, this doesn't even explain quite what it means. I don't know. Anyway, never mind that. That's the disappearing trend, a deeper dive. Should I use this thumbnail? Just to freak people. No. But yeah, I think out of these, like, the one that I would be most likely to make would be this one. But the topic bores me. At least these other thumbnails aren't so bad. Like, what the hell is that even? It's got a few different elements that are almost something but never quite get there. Yeah, I don't know. I think there were some other ones that, like, this one had some makeup-y kinds of stuff after this amorphous blob, but if you look too carefully, like, I feel like that finger is disappearing wrong, and then yeah, like, it's almost there, but then there are some elements that are like, I need to look at that closer. Anyway, I just don't know how it made the blob the first bloody thumbnail in the suggestions. Like, come on. But yeah, no, this one would be the most likely. Oh, this fucking title. Stop calling me introverted. I'm schizoid. What if you're both? You think you're introverted thinking, oh my god. Explained from a schizoid. If I put schizoid in my titles, it brings all that audience in. But yeah, no, there's all, like, it's got this pretty boring kind of outline. Like, sure, okay, I get it. I just don't care. You know, yes, I make schizoid content. And I've even made one that's like the difference between schizoid and autism, I think. And I think I did make one about introverts as well. But like, you know, it's when it feels relevant to me. I couldn't do it just because a AI thing told me to and gave me this horribly boring outline. There was another one that had a boring outline. I think it was the mecha one. Like, you know, an intro, hype, unboxing, first impressions, reviews, verdict. What a boring summary. And I'm just like, can you imagine if everyone started using this kind of thing to plan their videos and then they all have the same structure? Like, I get it because successful channels do tend to follow formulas and they do things properly, and that's why they're successful and I'm not, because I don't care about their rules. But I do find when I'm watching YouTube, especially one of these channels that really has their thing settled, I get bored sometimes with the structure. It's just the same thing every time with slight different variations. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Do I actually want to watch this? I'm not sure that I do. I don't know. But I can see if they did chaos the way I do chaos, they wouldn't have the audiences that they do. Yeah, I don't know. That's just another thing. But yeah, this, oh my god, I cannot. Oh, it's unfortunate that people just want to hear me talk about schizoid stuff. But no, there you go. That's the disappearing trend, a deeper dive. Just about the AI stuff. Oh, I'm tired. You know, it's been a long day. I've got to get... He's in there. He's here somewhere. Where's my little dog? Oh no, maybe he went to the bathroom. No, we went to the market today. There's a Christmas market, although by the time that you see this, it'll probably be like a week ago. Yeah, we went to the Christmas market. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll get these updates a lot faster. But yeah, so we came home and it's later, like we went after dinner and then came home from the market. It was kind of late and I wanted to have my tea and my stroopwafel. I'm really into the stroopwafels, although I think I needed the bigger cup and I should have put it on earlier. Anyway, so then I was drinking that, and then Mum was watching some TV show, and it was called Douglas is Cancelled. I think it's on ABC iView, and oh my god, my poor mum, she's not hip with, you know, the online world. To bring it back to the topic of online social media, whatever, but like to the point that Dad and I had to explain to her what cancelled means. She's just like, what does it mean he's cancelled? What does cancelled mean? But there's a lot that went over Mum's head even before that. Like she couldn't understand what was going on with Twitter when, you know, the scandal is getting retweeted. She's like, what? I don't understand what the problem is. Oh, she's so innocent. And then there's also like the teenage daughter is full of that over-the-top stereotypical woke language. And Mum doesn't understand any of that. Like even the words like microaggressions, like that's the kind of language that this person is using, and it's hilarious. But yeah, poor Mum, we had to pause the thing a few times to explain things to her, like what's happening and what's happening now, what is cancelled. Yeah. Anyway, so I was watching that, and then it's like 9 o'clock. So usually with Triton, we would come back to this room around 7:30, which I think is around the time we got home from the market, and now I had to have my tea and my stroopwafel. And then we were watching that, and he was sort of just lying on the floor, but I think he wants to come in here and chill. So 9 o'clock, I was just going to hang out with him in the other room, but he wants his routine, so here we are. I'm like, what am I going to do to pass the time? It's too late to really do much. Let's make a video. Now, I did film this video with the sound off. Oh, because sometimes OBS just... I should have checked it anyway, so that will probably be on Patreon. If anyone wants to see me just talking with no sound, how horrible. But hey, it was not bad as a test run for this video. This video is also actually managed to be shorter, I think. I think. But yeah. Oh no, no, it's not shorter at all. It's actually longer. Anyway, no, I need to get him to bed. And I need to get myself to bed. It's been such a long day. Life is so busy. I even started new art today. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Anyway, so like YouTube, inspiration. I am not inspired and I'm really not impressed by what we're calling AI.